set for you guys to enjoy and watch with us. So let's jump into the board and see what's going on. Paladin start off with Kolento once again, and it seems like it's going to be the Shaman for Semijew.
I think these are good choices. Like they're pretty safe outright. Both of these players seem to be taking comfort picks as their lead in a lot of these matchups, and I can't blame them. I think when you're unfamiliar with your opponent a little bit more, or even if you're in a situation where going the distance is something you expect, that a comfort pick is a good lead. It gives you a chance to take an advantage in the matchup, I think more so than you normally would.
Okay, Kolento, well, he has a couple of cards that are pretty useful to him, especially with how much Death Rattle has been shown already in Semijew's deck from all of the spawning minion stuff with the Rubian Egg and the Haunted Creeper. And he also has a True Silver Champion, which is really nice to collect value early on.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be kind of a slower game, where you're seeing a lot of hero powers taking place. This is going to be a big battle for card advantage until one of these guys has kind of an overwhelming position. So expect a lot of minion attacks this game.
Yeah, expect a lot of minion attacks, expect a lot of hero powers. Although one card that could end it early is something like Bloodlust. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Bloodlust really changes the dynamic of this matchup a lot. It's so much more important now for Kolento to keep control over the totems, which is something that he's naturally going to struggle with anyway.
Yeah. And, you know, these games are live. So players like Kolento and Semijew, when they haven't been playing, they've been watching. They've been kind of observing what their opponent's been doing and getting a good sense of what their opponents are capable of. So most likely that Bloodlust has popped up multiple times, even though it hasn't been shown on the board.
Right.
People are aware of that and its potency.
This is a pretty tough spot now for Semijew really early on. True Silver Champion is one of those cards that puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. And he's also got a Harvest Golem out on the board, so his totems are even going to be kept in check by it as well. It's going to be hard for him to develop a big board presence while that Harvest Golem is still here.
Azure Drake, a very nice card too.
Yeah, because even Fire Elemental is not that good of a play this turn.
Ooh, does he roll for the totem? I feel like he doesn't have much of a choice. Yeah. Fire Elemental is really poor on this kind of board. Huh.
Yeah, I don't.
And if he doesn't get it, the contingency plan is what then? Definitely not a board with lightning storming either.
Well, you definitely don't want to hex either. You need the hex for the bigger minions like Sunwalkers and Tyrians, the like.
He needs this. Oh, he doesn't get it.
Oh my gosh. This could spell a lot of trouble for Semijew really early on. His pan out has been pretty poor. He's drawn both Defender of Argus, a Bloodlust, no spell power, and a Lightning Bolt into a board where he's going to need some real stuff to stick to get through. So something like a Haunted Creeper would have been really good early on, and the Rubian Egg would be doing a lot of work right now.
Yep.
But if you actually, Kolento's got a Silence in his hand, the Rubian Egg wouldn't be doing very much at all. Kolento's got all the answers right now.
Everything short of the Consecrate, which is also a really strong card against what Shaman has. Even if you have like a Wild Pyromancer that almost guarantees whatever cleared, other than a big strong minion. Do you drop you drop the Sunwalker here?
I don't know.
Yeah, feels like it's pretty strong. I mean, if you bait out the Hex, you know you have bigger threats anyways.
It's like I'm curious if he even like needs to do anything.
What, hero power pass and just keep putting on pressure?
Sunwalker is just such a power play here, I guess. It's so easy to make. It's very resilient to everything. Like if you get hexed here, you're totally okay with that. Your opponent's still not developing their board position very much. Rockbiter's not what he needs. You're going to see a Lightning Storm coming soon. But how soon is the question. I think he's going to totem here first. I think you just hex and totem and pass. You don't have another reasonable play.
The alternatives are still pretty weak. So many of these cards are sat to kind of boost what you have. You know, the Defender of Argus, the Flame Tongues, the Bloodlust. Those are assuming you had board control in the very beginning of some sort, but without things like Feral Spirits and the Unbounds and stuff to get Semijew drew basically the wrong half of his deck without some of the starting guns.
Kolento's actually going to end up using this lay on hands, I think, when he's at 28 or 30 life. The hero power pass. This is the benefit of Paladin, by the way, is when you get these leads, you don't have to overcommit to the board. You could get comfortable
just sit
waiting.
on it.
Ooh, Doomhammer's not a bad draw.
Okay. Doomhammer.
He needs one more mana, though. If he was able to Lightning
Yeah.
Storm and play Fire Elemental this turn, he actually might be able to put something together. I don't mind using Doomhammer and attacking the Totem, and
Well, he can
I don't. Gosh, I don't
Doomhammer
know.
and Lightning Storm too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he's got an alternate play. He's gonna have to overkill the Drake if he's doing this.
Yeah, it seems like so. He is. But then his opponent has the Aldor Peacekeeper, and then just goes back to default. You know, the Azure Drakes. You replace the 4/4 with 3/3.
I'm curious if he actually even needs to Aldor this. Like, is he? Oh well, I mean, he's out.
Well,
yeah,
come
now
on
he needs
now.
to Aldor it.
Come on. Doesn't get much better than this.
Wow. And Kolento is just
so
dominating his
strong.
board position. If you can roll Spell Power, though, he still might be able to pull this out. Feral Spirits might be able to absorb some damage. It's getting close, though. His time is running out. He's down to 18 life.
He needs to roll first to see what he gets. I mean, he could also Lightning Storm without it and just try to hope that he rolls high on the Aldor Peacekeeper. But he does have 8 mana to play with this with the coin as well. So he can Lightning Storm, Feral Spirits, and Lightning Storm.
1/1. That's actually not that bad right now.
Yeah. All right, let's see what he's gonna roll in the Aldor Peacekeeper. That's the one that matters.
Oh!
Oh, and he gets it. That's nice. That's what he needed.
If you rolled high on the on the Kodo too, the Kodo would die to the attack on this 2/3.
Oh, that is totally true.
Yep. He's overloaded for a lot next turn though, so he can only make he's very limited on his plays in the following turn.
He's got
And
5
Kolento
mana.
draws his second True Silver champion. Oh my gosh. I forgot he had Black Knight in his hand.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, you're not really often going to be waiting for Alec here, and he already just used a Lightning Storm too, and he already used a Hex.
Right.
It depends on your comfort level, I think, honestly, because you don't necessarily need to Black Knight here. I think, but it's really nice, dude.
Either I think it's that you can start putting together a legitimate push for damage. And you have lay on hands too, so you're not like uncomfortable using it because you can fill your hand back up, and he's still got all the tools he needs. He's got a Wild Pyromancer, so if he finds an equality, that's going to be big. And even if he doesn't find an equality, just 2 spells can clear out all the totems. He's still got an Aldor
He's got the
Peacekeeper
silence
for his
the
opponent's big threat. So he's just I feel like he's dictating the pace of this game by a very large margin, and I think that one of the ways he continues to do that is just by developing his board. And I think you attack this 1/1 totem here as well.
Yeah, I like it.
You know what? I'm not opposed to going face damage either, though. Because if he put his opponent at 16 and then attacked him to 12, he's just threatening lethal.
That is true, and he does have the follow-up True Silver for potentially killing the next turn, right?
Yep. Urshock's like an okay draw here. It's really less than exciting. I think, oh gosh, does he have to Urshock a 3/1? He wants to save for Tyrion.
What do you do in
response
response to that?
I don't know if he can afford to wait for Tyrion. I mean, he's already like he's behind, so it's like he doesn't have the privilege of waiting for whatever he wants to use his cards on.
Doomhammer to clear both instead.
It's a lot more damage. Down to 14, and he's facing 8 right now.
Huh. So he just needs to draw 6 damage.
Yeah. Oh, there's 2 of it.
Ooh. You know, if
That
he attacked
actually
the
seals
previous
the deal.
turn, that was lethal.
I think that actually seals the deal.
Yeah. Because now he has
attack-
AoE.
Right, he can attack for 4, and then wow, Kolento's playing this game really safe.
Gotta make
Like-
sure I'm out of burst range.
This is so true to his style, though. He just plays the game safe and realizes it's so beyond reasonable for him to lose if he plays it this way. But now he's attacking. I don't understand. I don't know why you wouldn't just. Am I missing something?
Don't give your opponent an opportunity. Well, if you attack now, then you set up for lethal the following turn.
I was
even if
thinking you just attack for 4, play Aldor Peacekeeper, make a token, and then redevelop your True Silver.
Right, but you can choose over the following turn. You can clear with anything Consecration with just 2 damage, and then you win, assuming the board's clear.
Yeah, you can even do that.
Toss down the Wild Pyro as well if he puts out Feral
I don't
Spirit.
understand the lay on hands there, really. I mean, if you're going to make a push for damage, do you even need to use this card? I don't think it matters anyway. Like, I think
No,
the game's...
I don't think it does. I think he can get away with whatever the hell he wants at this point.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me as well. And so this is going to be Wild Pyromancer into Consecration, which is gonna do it.
And that's going to set up for the next game where Kolento will be up 1 game over Semijew. Semijew's deciding whether or not he wants to kill off this token. I think it is merit to it, because if he has something like Spell Power with a Consecrate, then you don't want it to kind of tack through. So that's what he's mulling over, for anybody kind of curious over his decision making.
Yep.
Okay.
That's going to do it.
So a good start for Kolento fans. And, you know, again, he didn't really need to kind of flex so much of muscle. Just from the very beginning, he got a really good lead. And then he was able to just kind of run away with it. This Paladin hero power really did seal the deal, like you kind of said.
Yeah.
Play very efficiently with some of the cards. All right, so let's find out what happens here in game number 2. What's it going to be? It is the Druid versus the Paladin.
I will fight with honor.
Yeah, this is also something else that I wanted to touch on is Token Druid struggles a little bit more with Paladin than a traditional Druid deck does. Because if you're able to get swept out, you find yourself in a spot where it's so hard to recover because your draw density is lower than a traditional Druid deck. You have less threats and you have more cards that are meant to synergize with each other. So if you draw like these late game Argent Squires and stuff, it ends up not being the most exciting draws in the world.
Yeah, there are lots of targets that things like Kodo and even the Evan Ultra can hit and really kind of take away your momentum and tempo. Okay, well, Semijew gets a pretty slow start here.
I think you have to make a 3-2 here. You have to just start getting pressure on.
Yeah, it's just way too passive to Power of the Wild or say Power of the Wild for something else.
Yeah, you've drawn. I mean, you've drawn 2 Savage Roars.
I think it is pretty indicative because the Savage Roar, I mean, it's theirs once the board has been built, right? When you have Harvest Golem sticking around for a while, the Savage Roars help you to reach in. Plus, you do have the Ancient of Lord to help you reload if you did overextend slightly.
It's not only that, but like one of the hardest things for a Paladin to deal with is just like a single 3-2 that is just going to sit there and do nothing. So it would have gotten 3 points of damage here. And if your opponent doesn't have a way to deal with it afterwards, then it gets in 3 more points of damage. Like, are you ever going to get more than 6 points of damage out of a Power of the Wild? That's so hard to do.
When you look at it that way, I think that's a fair assessment.
Ooh, that's an important draw. That's actually one of the most important cards of this matchup, in my opinion. And even though you're Token Druid, it goes into Taunt a lot because it's so efficient versus cards like True Silver Champion. Just the 2 extra health ends up being the difference. It's not really so much the taunt as it is just the extra health.
Yeah, if you're able to dodge Black Knight, then usually does a lot of work. He's going to save Power of the Wild once again. But I mean, I guess if he's consistent with his decisions, he's just going to kind of put it in his back pocket and figure to use it later.
It makes a little more sense to save it here now that the Harvest Golem's on the board. Because now he actually wouldn't get any damage out of it. He would just turn his Harvest Golem into a 2-1. Ooh, that's a good draw.
So turn 5 coming up for Semijew. We have the Haunted Creeper.
This is a rough turn. I still think it's fine to taunt here.
I think so as well. I mean, you do realize he has the coin, and he could coin out the Black Knight if he has it. But the alternative play is to put it in charge, which seems really weak, or even drop the Haunted Creeper, which doesn't feel very powerful either. It puts you at the mercy of the Ascension Sealmaster, because then it becomes a top dog, in which case the Paladin can once again pick apart what you have, which Kolento has shown that if he can just build up any kind of tokens and be able to use his spells very efficiently, then it's lights out.
Where shall I strike?
Yeah, I agree. You have to risking Black Knight here is something you just gotta have to do, because charging doesn't make any sense, and you just don't have another play afterwards. Like you have to get something done. Oh wow, that's a Kodo. Oh, the Kodo's only going to hit 50% of the time if you do that.
Yeah, that's actually, the more I thought about it, it's not guaranteed. Haha.
Let me think.
Well, that's certainly an interesting dilemma.
I can also Sunwalker. This is another tough turn.
Right.
He's got to look at how he
What if you
progresses
give
afterwards.
up for that for BG?
Right. So if he uses Humility and Kodo, let's say Kodo misses. He still can't kill.
I wonder.
I think he's got to go.
Oh,
for
he's
it.
going for it.
Yeah, just
he's
rip it.
going for it. I like it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, this is so huge.
No!
He gets it. That is massive. Massive kill. Big
So,
kick
sometimes you got to gamble, and when it pays off, let me tell you what.
You know what? He saved it up from that Leroy double Soulfire play. He said,
Yep.
I'm just going to use it up here. I know I had to.
This is a blowout. I don't know if Semijew can come back from this.
Wow.
Pay attention,
That was
class.
so crazy. Oh my god, 6 damage done by this Kolento. Well, he does have Power of the Wild, so at least he built up a little bit of a board, but we all know that what's coming next from Semijew is able to trade really effectively. Wait, he's playing off the top of his deck. What do you get? Get a Black
Oh my
Knight.
gosh.
Lol. That's funny. It gets a token druid.
A little late.
It gets a token druid. He drew it exactly 1 turn too late.
So
That's
moving forward
quite
here,
hilarious.
you want to kill this Violet Teacher, but I don't know how much it's worth to actually invest your minions into it. Like, he wants to keep control over the board as well. And he doesn't, like, the game can't spiral out of control, and if he's been paying attention to his opponent's hand, he's been holding 3 cards.
Mhm.
So those 3 cards are really weighted towards cards like Savage Roar and Force of Nature.
I wonder.
What about playing out the Spellbreaker, just tagging it with your minions trading? Does that open
I
you
would-
up too much to swipe?
I was thinking about that too. And the other thing I'm thinking about is how valuable it is to heal your Kodo if you choose to attack that way. Or even your
Your
Tezdingo.
Senjin.
Yeah.
Move quickly.
Like say you use Spellbreaker, and then you use
Yep.
your Kodo and the Harvest Golem to kill the Violet Teacher, and then you use your Tezdingo to pick off the 2/2 and then heal it back up with Holy Light.
Yeah. I mean, this way he's able to still play a minion. He's just kind of accepting the Black Knight, and this way it's very, very resilient, and it's very intimidating if his opponent doesn't have a response to it.
It's just kind of a weird play. I mean, I guess this is fine because he anticipates his opponent not being able to respond strongly anyway.
I think it goes back to what you were saying before. If there's a time where you're kind of afraid of a Black Knight, at least he has really good recovery options, because look at the strength of his minions. It would take up the entire mana turn, and at
Right.
best he could just kill off the Senjin, which he can respond immediately with other things. So I think this
Yep.
is the best time to play the Senjin. Plus get the Black Knight out of the way in case he draws something like Tyrion.
Right. Second Violet Teacher, usually a pretty good draw, but in this spot, he is so far behind on the board.
But then the Ancient of Lore opens you up because that Sunwalker Divine Shield is going to do so much work.
I mean,
is-
it's sometimes
Neither
first
options are
play.
preferable.
Yeah.
All right, well, the Violet Teacher is coming out here. At least that means she's thinking about it.
Attention, class.
First Savage Roar.
Oh wow! Clear the Sunwalker.
Okay.
That's sort of interesting.
But now I think the Consecration would be massive here.
Yep. Consecration.
Consecration.
That's here.
Consecration, that's good to keep that in the back pocket, by the way, the equality.
Hey, a quality Elven Archer. Not too bad.
Haha, yeah. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty cute combo. There's once this combo that I pulled off in Arena with, like, it was one of the first times I ever played. It was Repentance and Elven Archer, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh, look at this. He's
That
actually going to
suits
use the
it.
Harvest Golem
Kill.
instead of the Kodo. I like this. Swipe is a really good draw from Semijew now.
Swipe would be mint, but I don't know if he's able to pull that off. You know, Semijew's been kind of getting a little bit rough on the draws here.
Yeah, and now the Ancient Allures, I don't even think he can afford to draw with them anymore.
Just play them as heals.
I mean, you're facing down
They-
10 points of damage. I think it's game.
Ooh.
I mean, he can climb
Well-
out of it still, but it's a lot harder.
Yeah, he needs a way to kind of... He need that swipe. That was definitely the card he needed.
Yep.
Clear off 7 points of damage. Well, Kolento can't kill, but he can continue to improve his board position. I think, yeah, just continue to take your time. Your opponent showed desperation by healing.
Is he just going to play Black Knight? Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's nothing else really.
Wow. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, the Harvest Golem really isn't that much more powerful. So I feel like it's okay to do.
Oh, he's hedging his bets against swipe too. Kolento plays really safe.
He does. I mean, this way he
wasn't-
set 10 damage, and he can't even kill next turn.
Yep. I don't know if I agree with that.
Can he survive if he just heals up again?
He can survive another attack.
Oh yeah, right. He's already above the lethal range right now.
So if that's his plan, he wants to play heal for 5 and then the Haunted Creeper, which is probably his best chance to get back into the game, because if he draws Force Nature, he can actually clear.
Yeah, or even going back to previous swipe.
Yeah, Swipe's also still a pretty good draw.
Man, unless he's feeling super ballsy and he goes for the draw and he gets Innervate and Swipe in those tandem, that'd be ridiculous. But no one's that lucky. Not Nish, not Amaz, not anybody. Oh, come. Yeah, everyone's done it, but like in this situation where you need it exactly. Oh, wait. Does he have enough? No, he has 10, 14.
Short. It's too short.
Yeah, okay.
Still not a bad draw, though.
Huh. Wow.
Now
Kolento has baby-proofed the entire board.
Yep.
He's put plastic pieces into his outlets. He's put all the clippers into the drawers, preventing anybody from being able to. He is that safe. Nothing can get past him whatsoever. He is just going to play this inch by inch
The Great Wall
until
of
the
Kolento.
last point of damage is dealt. And I think Semijew realized that this game is absolutely over. There's nothing he can do here. Reaching for that concede button. So
Yeah,
concede
that's the only way out of
going
this
up
game.
to 0.
Yeah, buddy. 2-0 with Paladin.
But what about this guy from Sweden on MYM, who's placed top 4? Is his run going to end here? Well, he is on the coin, and he looks like the curve pretty nicely. But he's going to look for other options.
Wow, look at Colento's hand, too.
Consecration is exactly what you need to kind of start things off.
This
But
is a great
lot of
opener.
times the zoo can build up before you even get the opportunity to use it, though. I don't know how much you can complain with that kind of hand.
I don't think you can complain at all. I think the hand's great.
Well, Kodo could be a little slow. Well,
Well, speaking of slow,
I guess at that point, yeah. Sometimes you're like, oh god, no, I shouldn't have done it. Okay, well, let's see how it's gonna open. You know, he does have a really nice curve initially with the coin. And Semijew likes opening up with a Money Berserker coin. Like, this is what he likes doing every single time. Pretty curious, but
Here-
it's worked
here I
out for
think
him in
it's-
the past.
here I think it's a little bit better than he did the last time. Because last time he didn't have any strong options. Like the other time, he could have the potential to get more damage on the board, and he just very quickly played Amani Berserker. And here it makes a lot of sense because he can't get more than 2 damage on the board on turn 1. So getting out your strongest 2-drop to start I think is totally fine.
No, not to mention that if he has the hero power, then it procs the Enrage.
Oh, this is
Kind of lines it up as well.
So he's. Does he want him to attack this? I think Kolento does want him to attack this 1/1.
Well, I think it's better than doing nothing. Don't you feel?
Wow.
Or sometimes doing nothing.
I don't really know, because what ends up happening is if he attacks the 1/1, like he can invest a couple turns into consecrating. Like in turn 4 is going to be consecrating, now it's going to wipe out this Amani Berserker. But if he doesn't attack the 1/1 with it, what ends up happening is he gets in 2 points of damage.
Assuming he
with the Amani
draws
Berserker.
Shattered Sunclair.
Oh
He draws a
my
Shattered
gosh.
Sunclair. That is
This-
so big.
Yeah, that's really bad news for Kolento.
Oh,
I would've
that
liked
gamble did not pay off.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
that
got
was-
another choice, though.
I have to admit that was actually a really good play, because what he wanted to happen is he wanted Semijew to attack the 1/1 and then to consecrate on turn 4 to wipe it out, because otherwise what happens is the Amani Berserker's sitting there on the turn he would normally use consecration, and then what ends up happening is you're facing on a 5/1 after that. It's going to continue to hit for 5 until you're able to deal with it. So he invests some of his life right now to get to a safer turn 4 consecrate. That's actually a really good play from Kolento here, and then Semijew just happens to get the Shattered Sun Cleric at the right time to be able to take it away.
Yeah. That is pretty unfortunate for Kolento, but It's not over yet. You know, he does have a lot of heals, a lot of taunts. It's going to take a while for the Zoo to usually chew through, but at the same time, it's a pretty good board. And this is what Zoo needed to kind of run the game away.
I wonder.
I don't know what the right play here is. Is it just silence the Amani Berserker? Because the silence is just going to get traded away by just whatever the Zoo player wants, because they're going into turn 4, so they're very going to often gonna have like Dark Iron Dwarf.
You're afraid of the Divine
Focus.
Shield?
Yeah.
Then the Divine Shield comes off, then at least it improves your Consecration.
Your magic shall not save.
I think so. Because then if he forces off the Divine Shield, at least it sets up another Consecration, perhaps. But then he's still taking damage every single turn. That's pretty brutal versus if he would have cleared it. But he wouldn't have cleared that much damage either. He would have cleared 4. And this is effectively gaining him 7 health.
Yep. I think you're supposed to Dark Iron Dwarf.
This is the
I think you're supposed to Dark Iron Dwarf the Voidwalker here. Yeah. He wants to maintain. Yeah, he wants to maintain resiliency to Consecration, and if he uses the Divine Shield, 3 of his minions are gonna get swept.
All right, well,
Really play.
Kolento. Yep, he's gonna have
2
to cut
Sunwalkers
every
though.
move.
2 Sunwalkers
He's
can
really
really
hoping
easily
his
push him back
opponent
in this
doesn't
game.
have a Doomguard. That's true. It's gonna be really difficult for Zoo to effectively get through that.
Yep. Ooh, that's a good draw.
But one minion that can help a lot is Direwolf Alpha. That allows it to pick really good trades. I think positioning is going to be super key with this Direwolf in here.
The Direwolf's a follow-up, by the way. Like, you make your board here completely resilient to Consecration, and then make the push afterwards. So these Sunwalkers are going to have to get a lot of work done, but with Direwolf Alpha, he's got a lot of extra damage.
Truth is my shield.
I have to kind of say that. It's going to be really difficult to kind of pull out from here.
Yeah, I think so. My goodness.
Would you attack the higher attack creatures so that way you can't trade?
Justice.
Yep.
Yep. Otherwise, you just trying to line up again for a Consecration is a little too idealistic.
And Semijew's got a lot of strong draws in his deck right now. Doomguard's good. Soulfire's good.
Soulfire, Abusive Sergeant, Defender of Argus. That's not bad. In fact, let me see if there's a way to kind of burst through.
He can bust a Sunwalker this turn. That's not really the issue.
Yeah.
The
Just
issue
wondering
is,
if he had an opportunity to lethal.
Many
But
possibilities.
yeah, he's a
don't
little
think
bit
so.
short.
well, just want to
How do you
consider all
bust
the possibilities.
How do you break the Sunwalker now? This is actually pretty tough.
So many.
I think the Divine Shield actually throws a lot of things into the fray, because then you can't like have things slide in immediately off the first attack to kind of buff the Direwolf for a good trade. But at the same time, the Harvest Golem was going to do the same exact thing anyways, so. And you definitely play the Defender first before you use the Direwolf and see what you get.
Right. So he's going to use the Divine Shield here. And then he's going to use... So he's going to end up with a 2-3. A 2-3. Oh, well, nope. He's keeping
he's
this on
using that.
around.
Okay, keep the Direwolf for one more trade, maybe. And
All
that's
right.
going to make it really tough. I don't see how Kolento can really pull this one out.
Yeah, I think he needed Holy Light there.
Sunwalker is just his best bet.
Sunwalker gets cracked, and then he's going to fall down to 2. Actually, he's going to fall to 1.
No. Yeah. Oop.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
it's a Soulfire. Okay, well, Semijew has stayed alive in this series. And it's going to be able to close out this game.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he's got the guaranteed lethal on board.
Okay, the Harvest Golems hasn't attacked yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost.
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, don't do it the wrong way. You have the game. That is an issue for him. So I can see him going with Handlock here.
All right, so let's find out. I think it is the handlock. Okay. And he has Molten Giant, and Soulfire, and Hellfire, and a Rubian Egg. Oh my god.
Do you just keep this whole hand? Wait a minute, is he going to mulligan and Rubian Egg?
No, come on. You have Hellfire.
I think he
Turn
just keeps
2,
this-
New
yeah.
Rubian Egg. Turn 3, Hellfire. Turn 4, watch him concede.
So
Right?
I can see mulliganing Soulfire.
Yeah,
if you're going to
because
sweep the board,
you're
Right,
losing
if you're
too
gonna
much
sweep the board,
quality.
Yep, if you're going to sweep the board, you don't really need to You don't really need to follow up with Soulfire.
Right. And you might even pick up something nice like a Mortal Coil, so whatever survives the Hellfire.
Like a Dark Iron Dwarf or something. Yep.
What? Little Ancient Watcher. Okay.
Oh.
Okay,
now
so Semijew picks up his own. Ooh, that's very tough. The fact that he had to... He wants to kind of keep loading the board. But at the same time, the Ruby Neg's only way to get activated right now is being pushed out.
Right. Well, in this matchup, a lot of times what ends up happening is the Nerubian Egg is just protection against cards like Hellfire or Shadow Flame. So he's going to be using that as like sort of in the same vein that Amani Berserker was supposed to be used against that Paladin deck. It's when your opponent sweeps the board. They're not true sweeps. They're only like they're like sweeping 2 health or less or 3 health or less or something like that, and it protects you from having those sorts of things happen to you. So that's what he's aiming for here. Oh my gosh, this knife
This is going to be so brutal. Wow. Oh my god. The
Get ready.
Hellfire combo is going to be devastating.
Yep.
Oh man, this is the moments like this I wish Semijew had a cam working.
Oh my gosh. What a swing in the game. Like,
Wow,
what just
well
happened?
played.
You're like sitting in the zoo spot and you're like, what happened? Where'd my guys go and why does he have a 4/4?
Oh man, you know he has double Molten Giant.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one for
He just needs
for
a
Semijew.
taunt giver. He just needs a taunt giver, and this game I feel like is sealed.
This
Unless
is one of the-
Semijew is surprising us with like power overwhelming Shadow Flame.
This is one of the reasons, by the way, that you're supposed to play Egg going into a tournament your opponent can Shadow Flame, or I'm sorry, Hellfire, is to protect you from this sort of board position. So I think the Shadowed Sun Cleric might have been an oversight.
I would certainly think it's an oversight. If your opponent especially plays an egg before the Hellfire turn.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Leroy's a pretty poor draw right now. And get ready. Kolento's on the offensive now. Yes! Punish him! Nerubian Egg token. What is that thing called?
A Nerubian, I think. Just straight up.
It's just Nerubian?
I think so. Don't quote me on it. Twitch chat, be gentle.
Someone hover over the egg in this game so we can read. I'm sorry, hover over the egg token so we can read what it's called.
Pretty sure it's just
We
Nerubian.
must cleanse the Sunwell.
Like it's just a citizen. Just,
He's just an ordinary citizen.
You don't see his left arm right now because it's kind of out of the portrait, but he's holding up his passport. Just trying to go through the file line. All right, Kolento. Kolento can drop a giant. He doesn't have any...
Do you Soulfire here? Oh, here's sort of a unique play. Do you drop a giant, attack the egg, and then Soulfire the token?
Oh,
Or do you
yeah.
just get him to attack with the egg and then Soulfire the token afterwards? Because another option is he can also attack one of these spiders and Mortal Coil one of the tokens. He could just go full offensive too, which is what it looks like he's going to do. Oh, he discards Leroy.
Well, at this stage, I think as much as it sucks to discard Leroy, the fact is he's in pretty good dominant position. Power overwhelming.
How much damage does he have? 3, 7? It's not enough.
Yeah,
think
he's short by a good 7 damage.
Do you
It's
power
really
overwhelm
tough.
the egg and trade the 4/4 away, or do you just go for Dome? I mean, 'cause you're facing down 12 damage right now.
Yeah, and you have 12 damage, and you might look like you have to tap, or you don't have to, but you might feel like you're inclined to. Oh, he does tap. Oh, flame him. Who
This
sent
is
you an
getting
invite?
painful.
I pressed delete after it said send, and you somehow came here? Oh, God.
Wow, he cannot
Get
play
outta here,
Flame
Flame
without the risk of power overwhelming.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just dead if he plays flame him.
He's got to heads the board down. And I don't know about you guys, but 6 damage versus 8 damage is not a winning race.
Okay.
Now
let's
my
see what
math,
Kolento
now my
has.
math's spot on.
He also has Siphon Soul as well.
Yep.
And I think Kolento, based off how safe he's been playing all day long, I kind of have to sense a Siphon Soul coming out from him.
I think it's a reasonable play.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to go all in. He just proved that he can't deal with the Molten Giant whatsoever. Him tapping and having no taunt. Wait.
Does this put him in the game now? Oh, wait a minute. Kolento's got Faceless Manipulator for the Doomguard.
That's crazy. Are you serious? That's so funny. Oh, well, I mean, he kind of has
Oh, jeez.
he still kind of has to figure out a way to tap, because wait.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
And that's
That
going to
is
do
so
it.
funny. The Faceless ends the game. Or a Defender of Argus. Why not? But why not kill your opponent with the same
Wait,
tool he's trying
Muller.
to kill you with?
This is what you gotta go for the Faceless on the Doom Guard.
Oh, heck yeah.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
Very
Kolento
well